Hey guys, how's it going? It's week 13, and we're doing education this week. So my topic presentation landed during this week, and my topic was, does more money guarantee a better education? Now that can be taken from many perspectives, but I chose to talk about it from the perspective of the state of Maryland and the counties that we have within our realm of our state. So just an intro real quick of kind of like a basic idea of how much the United States spends a year on education. And as a country, we spend about $620 billion annually on education in general, um, which is about $12,296 per pupil. So per person in the public school education, that's about how much we're spending. The Maryland average is about 13 to 14,000, so we spend traditionally and have over the past few years more on education than most of the states, which is a good thing. But I have broken the presentation down into three sections. I want to talk about money, and I also want to talk about money leading to success, and I also want to talk about kind of an analysis from both sides. So let's talk about money first. So my initial argument would be that money does not really guarantee or equal success. So, for example, when we look at Baltimore City, for example, they receive the pretty much one of the highest fundings in the state. I mean, they're receiving annually around $16,713 per pupil, so per student that goes to school in Baltimore City. Compared to other counties throughout the state, we'll just use Carroll and Frederick counties for example. Carroll County receives about $13,566 per student, whereas Frederick County receives $13,369 per student. So we're receiving less annual funding than Baltimore City. And take a look at this video by New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, who talks about the New Jersey school system and how money doesn't really guarantee success. So I want to move on now to money leading to success. And I mean, does it really lead to success? I mean, you look at right here, we can look at graduation rates, we can look at test scoring. There's a bunch of different ways that you can look at if money guarantees success, but I chose to look at graduation rates among the counties in Maryland. So let's take Talbot County, for example, on the Eastern Shore. They receive the lowest funding in Maryland at $12,847. Yet they have a graduation rate of about 85%, which is average among Maryland counties. I mean, that's not low and it's not high, but that's pretty good for receiving pretty much no funding. And if we go back to Carroll County, for example, they're 17th in the state in funding out of 24 municipalities within the state, which is in the lower half. Yet they have the best graduation rate at about 94% annually, which is pretty good. I mean, Maryland or Carroll County in general doesn't really receive a lot of funding, yet they have probably one of the best school systems in the state. And then we can use the Baltimore City schools as an example again. They receive the second most funding at $16,713, yet they have the lowest graduation rate in the state at 56%. So, to answer that question, does money lead to success? Well, in the case of Maryland, not really. And it's kind of like that throughout the United States, as a lot of the inner city schools and lower socioeconomic areas within states do receive more money annually. So kind of an analysis now from both sides, and if we look at our textbook on page 289, there is a chart there that kind of states a little bit about reading scores and funding associated with that, and the reading scores really have stayed stagnant the entire time. When we look at it, and as spending goes up, reading stays stagnant. So there's really no correlation between reading efficiency compared to the amount of funding that we're putting in. And as a result to lack of funding here in Carroll County, we really can look at, Maryland schools are kind of perceived as being the best. We have that kind of notion here. But Maryland attractiveness of schools received a 2.1 rating out of 5, which is tied for 46th best in the country. So that's not great. And in 2015 and 2016 school year, Maryland lost 4,500 teachers due to lack of pay. And in Carroll County, we see that the turnover of teachers is crazy, and we have such a younger staff working now because our experienced teachers have gone elsewhere to look for higher pay. But I do agree that more funding in education can improve teacher stability and morale and give teachers more technologies and assistive technologies to help their kids learn. So that's kind of it for me. I wanted to pose two questions to you guys as my audience. So the first question, from your perspective and after watching this video, do you believe that more money in education gives people a better education in general? And number two, do you believe that more money in education can correlate to high reading scores, graduation rates, and success in general? Thanks.